of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Happy New Year. I'd like to call to order the Tourist Development Council meeting on January 7th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Before we begin with our public comment section, I'd like for everyone to do introductions. We'll start with Mr. Porter.
Neil Porter with accommodations.
Debbie Beals, citizen, Keystone Heights.
Kim Evans, accommodations.
John Scromolo, County Commissioner, District 1.
David Diaz, citizen.
Kevin Robert, accommodations.
Sherry Starnes, Green Cove Councilwoman.
Teddy Meyer, tourism.
Stephanie, go ahead.
Stephanie Lamb, Tourism Program Manager.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And Sherry, welcome. This is your first official meeting from Green Cove City Council. We're very happy that you're here today. I'd like to open the public comment section portion of the meeting. If you're a member of the public and you'd like to address the TDC, you can go ahead and take the podium. Seeing none, we're going to close the public comment portion and move on to the approval of minutes, and I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Also, for the record, before we begin with presentations, Adrian Andrews could not be here today with us. He's out sick, so we hope he feels better soon. And Brian Knight had another commitment, so he's not with us today as well. Two other members of our team here on the TDC. So let's kick it off with presentations. The first one is our Advanced Travel and Tourism Marketing Update from Kyle. How are we doing, Kyle?
Hey, we are doing good. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see you guys in the new year. Sad that I can't be there in person this time with you guys, but we will. We've just added a new member to our team who is just about an hour away from you guys. So you'll start to see Paula Van in some of these meetings more regularly moving forward. So excited about that. Just a sort of overview on some of the Q4 marketing performance and so on and so forth. As we said, just a refresher of the campaign and what we're doing. Again, of course, we walked through this a little bit in November with the details, but our audiences that we're targeting still were families and outdoor, with some of those being blended together where it made sense. Our markets, we did have a slight change in our markets during the middle of Q4. You can see the ones listed here. Charlotte was one that we pulled out of a little bit. We'll continue to analyze whether there's merits with that market moving forward, but you also see just a sampling of some of the creative that we used throughout our campaign in Q4. The core campaign tactics that we continued to really focus on in Q4, online display, the ads you see across websites all over the internet, video ads, some of the streaming services that exist out there, audio streaming as well, both with music and podcast, and then social media really focused on Instagram and Facebook, and then an email marketing campaign as well. To dig into some of the specifics of some of the social campaigns, Brooke Epps is going to join me to walk through some of those details now. Brooke?
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to go over two highlights of campaigns that we did on Facebook and Instagram. These were targeted towards Clay County residents and surrounding local communities and neighborhoods. So the first was the Patriots Passport. And I want to first off start by saying both of these campaigns were the Clay County team's ideas, and we ran them for the past few years that we have been a partner with you. So the Patriots Passport is launched around Veterans Day, and it really honors Clay County's military heritage. And it promotes the deals and promotions that local Clay County businesses offer to both active military and veterans. So we delivered over 63,000 of these messages, and it had positive engagement. Over 1,500 post engagements were made on the Patriot Passports campaign. Our second is Christmas in Clay. It promotes local holiday events, festivities, the Parade of Trees that happens each year in Clay County around Christmas time. What was really cool about this one is the Clay County team had an idea to use user-generated content, which is actual videos that were taken by someone in the Clay County community. So it was their content that we used and promoted. This campaign did really, really well. It received over 46,000, almost 50,000 post engagements on it. So that's the likes, saves, shares, and comments. So two really successful campaigns that took place in Q4.
Very good, Brooke. All right, now we'll look at some website performance. And as you can see in this top chart, the dark blue bar is 2025 versus 2024 in the light blue. What we're looking for here is, are we seeing growth and increases in most of the areas that we're trying to drive traffic in from? And we are seeing strong performance. Paid social leading the way. That's a great storytelling platform that gets good engagement, as Brooke just sort of highlighted for us. So strong performance there, and really happy with what we're seeing. Overall, reached more than 86,000 people and drove almost 230,000 page views into the Clay County website. It's one thing to drive traffic, but we are always very focused on, are we getting the quality, are we getting the engagement, are we getting the traction that we want? And one of the things that we love to look at is conversion points within the website. We saw almost 200 or around 230 outbound links to Clay County lodging pages, right? And of course, we know that overnight stays is really one of the big focuses there. So continuing to see really good traction in terms of not just reaching people and getting them in there, but getting them to explore where and how they can stay in Clay County, which is one of our big goals there.
Kyle, real quick, a quick question on that. The paid search and organic search, what are those? Is that Google metrics?
Yeah, so those are down a little bit, and that's a larger industry trend, right? What we're seeing is some of the way that AI, your ChatGPT, your Geminis, are impacting the way people are searching and looking for information is having an impact on the traffic we see on websites, right? So, one of the ways that we try to combat that is just being stronger in other areas, but also being mindful of, are we creating good content that can be sourced when people are looking and using ChatGPT or Gemini or other platforms like that? You're not going to necessarily get the traffic to your website, but if your information is pulling into those platforms, they're still learning about you and getting what they need. So it's a change in the industry for sure, something we're certainly aware of and keeping in mind, but that is the main reason we're seeing declines on that. And it's not specific to just Clay County. It's an industry-wide trend.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a lot about how we use Placer AI when we met last, and I know you guys also use it to measure the effectiveness of the events that you guys host in Clay County. We just like to always keep tabs on what are the top visitation markets. This is a running report that we look at as we do our strategy meetings and talk about how we want to push out the messaging for you guys. You'll see in that final column, green is indicative that we're seeing increases. And so in most of the areas, we are seeing slight increases in visitation. So that's good to see. Florida with Orlando and Miami continue to be the top markets, but also strong traffic coming in from Atlanta and Tallahassee. And again, this is just something that we keep our tabs on just to understand where we're seeing traction, where might there be opportunities, or where do we want to make adjustments because we're not seeing the conversions we want from a visitation. So just something that we continue to look at as we work with the Clay County team there. So that's the specifics on our Q4 reporting, but we do have one more thing for you. Last year, we pulled together a 2024 recap on a one sheet, and we've got that again, and Brooke's going to kind of walk through the details of that.
Awesome. So just to start off, 2025 was a great year. We see some strong metrics, not only for 2025, but also year over year. Looking at the website growth section, we see positive lift here year over year, not only total and new users increasing by 66 and 65%, but total pages viewed when someone got to exploreclay.com lifted 95% year over year. Along with that website growth, we do see almost 1,700 visitor guides that were requested or viewed online, which is a really strong metric showing a deeper conversion value that people are very interested in coming and traveling to Clay County. Along with that, in the paid media section in the bottom left, we do see strong year-over-year performance for the campaigns. Just want to highlight the paid social engagement. It increased almost 500% year-over-year versus 2024. Along with that, the social media growth, this is that section in the little blue section, social media growth. This is all Clay County because this is your organic social pages. So Instagram, Facebook, and your YouTube channel. Instagram reach increased 100% year over year. Facebook followers, which is that's a great metric that we see, increased 74%, and then over 500,000 YouTube videos were viewed on YouTube, on the Clay County YouTube channel. So 2025 is positive. We could not have done it without the Clay County team. We're excited about 2026 and continue to drive quality users and just drive awareness of Clay County.
Thank you, Brooke. So it was a good year for us. We've got a lot of exciting things that we are working on to start 2026 and look forward to sharing more with you guys in the next meeting.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kyle. Do any members of the council have any questions? Go ahead.
Oh, no question for me.
Any questions? Good. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Awesome. So moving on in our agenda, item number 3 is going to be our update from Airstream Ventures with our sports tourism.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Good to see you, Alan.
Am I driving? Oh. Okay, there we go. So hopefully everybody had a good holiday season. We are, during the holidays, like in the sports, everybody's taking a break. Unless you're a bowl game or something like that, college football. But for the most part, everybody's taking a break. People are starting to get back into the office this week and beginning their plans for 26 and even 27. So this is what we attended last year. We are getting date updates on those kinds of things, but we'll be attending. I'm going later this month to a CEO summit for Sports ETA, which is a lot of the CEOs from a lot of the U.S. Olympic governing bodies, along with just CEOs from across the country. And then the Sports ETA, which is, I don't want to say the governing body of sports tourism, but it is maybe the entity. And then the Florida Sports Foundation, as Teddy and the team know, is going through a lot of craziness, but they do a good summit typically in the summer, and so we don't know where that is yet. But all of these others we'll be going to as we get, and so the next meeting that we have, we'll have updated dates on all that. But these are really good, and any new ones that spark along the way, we will probably do that as well. I would be remiss if we just hired a new person. His name is Josh Zenner. He's sitting behind me. He's our new director of operations. So we've never had this position before. When we go get events, all of our salespeople are also the ones operating them. And as you know, when you're doing that, sales and operations can sometimes tie together, but sometimes you can be more effective if they're separate. So Josh's role is really to, once our team books events, is to make sure those are operating in a very efficient manner. So this is, I believe, your first TDC meeting, I know here, but in general. And so, but just a background on Josh from an operational standpoint. He ran the Top Golf in Jacksonville for close to 10 years, opened it here, and was basically general manager there. So has a very strong operational background and was in sports for a long time. So just wanted to introduce him. I said, you're coming with me. You need to start integrating this. So anyway. So from a event standpoint, when we look at this, so we had a really good event back in October with Brand Name Athletes BNA. It's a girls flag football, a really good event. In 2 weeks, we have coming up the American Cornhole League event. He is pretty much tapped out and sold out of his event. We're talking pretty much every day. He's got people coming in from all over the country that will be coming. He is pounding for the hoteliers. He's pounding. You have to stay in Clay County. And so we've sent them all the hotels and all of that kind of stuff. And so that will be happening. They'll be starting to set up 2 weeks from tomorrow. So it should be another good. That is a qualifying event for, if you see the Johnsonville and all of that on ESPN. So some of the top throwers in the world will be competing here in Clay County. The number one thrower in the country last year, who happened to make $5.4 million throwing a beanbag, will actually be competing here. So may need to take out a loan or something with that person. But anyway, so it's a really high profile event. He's very excited about it. So would love to invite any of you and everybody come out and see it. It's at the fairgrounds for that weekend. So it should be a fun event. Minor League Golf Tour, Scott Turner. I talked to him yesterday. His field is pretty much sold out. They were hoping to get a field of 90 golfers. And so he's pretty much there. That'll be played at Eagle Harbor Golf Club. There will be in his field, there'll probably be 3 or 4 PGA Tour golfers that will be playing on the tour. But this isn't. It's during the week, so these they want to get reps in and all that. It's not Scotty Scheffler, so don't think that. But it's some of the lower golfers on the PGA Tour, if a PGA Tour golfer is really lower. Black Creek Showdown, this is our organic event that we created. If you remember last year, we canceled it. We're bringing it back. Registration ends next week for this. We were hoping to get, our goal was to get 24 teams. We have surpassed that. And so we are capping it based upon everybody being able to get teams, getting 2 to 3 games in. And so running a bracket and all of that. JR Rozier from our team is working on that, along with Josh will be brought into the operations of that. But it's girls flag football teams, so it's FHSAA sanctioned. It's girls flag football teams from all over the state will be coming in for 2 days to play in that. So we're excited about that. We tried to create, so the FHSAA is wanting to do a JV lacrosse state championship because lacrosse is such a booming sport in our state, and so many kids are playing it. There's a ton of JV teams. Unfortunately, because we don't have netting at the complex, we're not going to be able to host it this year, but they are going to come back next year. They're going to go take a pit stop for this upcoming year, and then once we get all the nettings and all that, they're going to, and we want to make Clay County the host of that every year. And so that would be just like hosting a state championship in any other sport. It just happens to be JV. And so we are talking with the FHSAA, and Commissioner Scamolo, you and I need to get together on that, but about creating a hub for these JV sports. You finish the JV season. If you're not pulled up to varsity, you're done. And so a lot of places are beginning to host like JV tournaments in their own community. So we've kind of talked to them about, why don't you host a state championship and let's make Clay County the hub of that, which there's some traction to. So we'll keep you posted on that. And then the cross country invitational that we've done the last few years, we took a break on last year, will be coming back. And I know the director that runs that for us was out at the sports complex looking and helping model the sports complex as a first-class cross-country event place as well. And then the World of Pickleball will be played at the Hub. And so that is an organization that we've been working with now for probably about 6 months. As y'all know, pickleball's a craze, and there's a million organizations. We're working with a lot of them, but Brooke Barlow from our team has worked a really good relationship. They've already booked the venue. It's already been done. About 70%, when you deal with the World of Pickleball, 70% of those players come from out of your community. So they understand the tourism aspect of it. And so it's these pickleball events, when you throw an event, there's so many pickleball players in that community. You don't see tourism effects of that. But this one, they really focus on that. So we're excited that I think that just came up, that just booked a couple weeks ago at the Hub. So, and then the NCAA Symposium, all those championships will open and the events will open in Division 1, 2, and 3. The portal will open in March. So we're going to sit down, look and see what events make sense for us, probably Division 2 or 3. I don't know that we have the facilities to do D1, but, and we'll figure out what we do there. The Premier Lacrosse League camps, so for those that are familiar with the Premier Lacrosse League, the PLL that plays in the summer, they're trying to build their brand, and they're doing all these camps around the country to help build their brand. And so we've convinced them that they need to be in Clay for Northeast Florida. And so JR is working with them on that. Grit and Grind Football, same kind of thing. USA Archery, we are working with them. They're looking at wind patterns right now during certain months here to see what the wind is like, because wind affects archery. So it's interesting stuff. Game On Triathlon is something that we're looking at with Keystone Heights, and Teddy has a really good relationship with them from past lives. So we are trying to land that plane. Pro Watercross we've hosted here before. They were purchased by a larger entity, so they now have created a national series instead of just in Florida. So they'll be doing 42 events this year all over the country, where they used to only do 7. And so we're talking to them about resurrecting that back. They've always been with CBS Sports Network. They're having negotiations right now with, for those that don't know, NBC Sports is bringing back their NBC Sports Network, tied in with the Olympics, the Winter Olympics coming up next month. And so they're trying to negotiate a deal with them. So that's the only hold up there. The Kansas City Barbecue Society, we're looking to marry with another event in the community. It's not really a standalone event, but it can be a big event. We're doing another one with them that currently right now has 36 teams from all over the country coming in. So not a huge heads and beds kind of thing, but it's a really good event for our community. U.S. Senior Pickleball, we're pretty close to booking an event there at the Hub. We've had some really good calls with them. United Flag Football, they came last year, and so they're coming back. We're working on the dates right now, JR is. And then Grad Games is a concept that I think I've talked about before, but high school seniors, they graduate, they're not going to play in college, and they want one last hurrah. And so we're working with them, had a call with them this morning on which events make sense. Lacrosse makes sense because of our sports complex. That would be in May. We're just the timing of netting and all that kind of stuff, but they would love to be here, along with they're looking at soccer as well. So, and then I'm not, y'all been at this a long time. I won't bore you with all of these, but a couple of highlights here. American Darters Association, we're hoping that we're going to land the plane there in the next few weeks on that one. And then the National Mustache and Beard Association, we tried to go get the national championship of that, and it just, they need a bigger facility. And so we have now switched conversations with them to more of a regional event that you could do in a high school gym or at the fairgrounds or something like that. They want to have a couple of sites in Florida for their regional. It is they bring a lot of people because it's 48 different curriculums within beard and mustache. So I can't even grow one, so I won't be competing, but it is a really good thing. And then the last one is the American Powerboat Association. So they are now have become the governing body of all motorsports on water. And so Dana Potts is their executive director. They will run everything from motosurf all the way to big offshore boats. So we're having some good conversations about obviously our river and lakes. So A lot of traction going on, a lot of conversations. I think on the advanced conversations, you're going to see next meeting, you'll see 4 or 5 of those moved over to booked. And then several of the conversations moving up to advanced conversations. So anyway, and then finally, everything. So, off to a start. We had the BNA. These will be added. We've got a lot of events coming up here in the next few months. So this will track, but from where we've been right now, that's where we are. So any questions on, more importantly, probably that?
Questions for Alan?
Just a point for the board. And Alan talked about the Cornhole League event, right, on MLK. And I think just to highlight that as an example, so you may or may not be aware that the fairgrounds is essentially booked for almost 2 years, right? Like through almost 28. Justin's here, but I'm not going to put him on the spot. But so this was an interesting event where we found in conversations with Parks and Rec areas where the fairgrounds could host 2 events at the same time. JP Hall Arena, the smaller one, was being used, but the exhibition halls were open. So that's going to be continually that piece where, obviously with Airstream, but with other groups as well, we're continuing to try to look for those options to kind of to push the envelope. Not obviously on the on the safety and security side, but more of like, what can we host? When can we host it? How can things be integrated and do things at the same time? Maybe it's the same facility, maybe it's a different facility. But I only bring that up because it's kind of that constant look from Airstream, from staff, from us to try to really raise the scope if we can as much at as many different facilities, and that fairgrounds obviously being the crown jewel, if you will. So.
And I do want to encourage y'all to come out and see it, meet. I think it's important. We work very closely with these event directors, but it's great that if people from the community come out and really, thank them for bringing, they hear that from us, they expect that from us, but, anytime that I know we're all busy, but anytime you can pop in for 30 minutes, we'll show you around, we'll introduce you to the main, in this case, American Cornhole League. And thank them. Those things go a long, long way. A lot of communities don't do that. And so we want to be different in that, that we go above and beyond.
Alan, a question I have, the cross-country invitational, would the plan be to do that at C-Mark again?
It would be,
Okay.
yes, right now. Just only because of parking.
Yeah.
In
the talks about the lacrosse state championship, how many teams do you think they'd bring?
There'd be 32 teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Any other questions?
It's an actual booked event. I mean, they've already got teams and they're going to be here for that.
Well, the FHSAA one, that won't be coming here. That's a next year thing. We had it. But the Black Creek Showdown, so we'll probably be close to 40 teams on that.
Right.
Yeah.
The lacrosse one, the nets have not been installed yet at the complex.
Okay.
So that's the
we
key
have
with that.
those. I mean, I know didn't we have like conversation about that? Or was it polls? Okay, that's.
That was
Yeah.
goals initially,
Yeah.
yeah. The netting's a little more complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
But once those are up, then you'll start seeing, and Teddy and I have been working on that. You'll start seeing a lot of lacrosse. We just we have a lot of people that are interested from all over the USA Lacrosse, all those, but we're just keeping those conversations warm until we know officially when that's going to be installed, so we can book those. Same thing with the golf tournament. These golfers are very good golfers, so that first week of February, would love to, invite you to come out and meet Scott Turner. He's been very, this will be his 3rd year here, loves the community. He lives in Palm Beach, but he's really excited about this as well. So anytime, we'll get you in a golf cart and ride around and that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Very much.
Okay, thank you.
And continuing with the golf theme, our next presentation is Florida First Coast of Golf update by Mr. David Reese.
Good afternoon, Dave Reese, Florida's First Coast of Golf. Appreciate you guys scheduled some time for me on the agenda today. Just a quick diversion back to pickleball. So the hub may or may not have a picture of me on the most wanted thing. My son got me to a competitive match at YMCA, and somehow I ended up in the kitchen and hit a shot, and the whole gym was calling a legal shot on. It was horrifying, but now I know what the kitchen is and won't go hit a shot in there anymore. But yeah, Teddy and his team asked that I give you a brief organizational update on Florida's First Kiss of Golf. So I'll start there, but then also kind of bring you up to speed on our second annual military appreciation promotion. It's a 4-month promotion, and we're just celebrating active military and veterans through hospitality and tourism. As you can see there, Sherry, you may not know about Florida's First Coast of Golf, so I'll hover there for a minute. A refresher for some, new to others, but for decades, Clay County and Northeast Florida region share a common attraction and competitive advantage over a lot of other destinations, and that's our golf product. So we're 72 courses strong in this 120-mile by 80-mile stretch from Amelia Island down through Jacksonville, Clay County, St. John's, and Palm Coast. So Florida's First Coast of Golf was formed to be the regional golf tourism agency of record for the region, to advertise for golf tourism and golf travel. So it's basically a collaborative of 5 counties or tourism offices, and private industry includes courses, attractions, hotels, airport, retail, and PGA Tour, and then Visit Florida and other strategic partners along the way we collaborate with, such as the Jaguars and many other organizations, to really collaborate and just go to the marketplace with more dollars in our advertising coffers to increase our reach and frequency out there to kind of beat our competition. So kind of that's the refresher. You see in front of you, if you had a time to look at it. So we're currently operating on a $2.8 million marketing effort. Not all of that's cash. We do a lot of guerrilla marketing. Our cash budget's just over $1 million, but we leverage that through a lot of Visit Florida promotions and collaboratives with our tourism partners, including the Clay County Tourism Office. 47.2 million golfer audience. If anybody hasn't been paying attention, the golf boom has surpassed the Tiger era. COVID was a big part of that. So just loads of people, all ages. It's actually decreased the age of our demographic that we target because it's gotten younger as well. And golf is just we're in a good spot for doing that. And just a point of clarification, so there's roughly 5,000. We don't do tournaments. We don't operate, I call, inside the ropes. We're not about the PGA Tour and the players and even events that Alan brings, although we collaborate sometimes on that. But there's only about 5,000 professional men and women that play golf. We go after the 47.2 million, that their scorecard looks like a telephone number, and just happy to hit a good shot and have a good time, stay in hotels, eat at restaurants, and so forth. So I've got this, right? Okay, no, back the other way. So always on marketing. So again, we do collaborate with Teddy and his team, Advanced, and the other 4 tourism partners. So we have a lot of good friends and a lot of good intel. So always on national visibility, top flying drive feeder markets, first party golf traveler data, intent signals. So much like Teddy's office, we make all of our decisions, marketing decisions on data and intel to make sure it's spent wisely. And then really it's all about the leverage. It just leveraging relationships and being the best that we can. We are the most tenured regional golf or regional tourism organization in the state of Florida. We're often imitated, rarely replicated, but We have been in the marketplace since 1992. So quick rounds update, you see typo up there, total rounds for October were up 12%. We do have November's numbers, not at the time we generated this presentation, but it did soften a little bit in November, but our year to date and the early knowledge of our December rounds, it's gonna go way up. So we're in positive territory. December's you'll see a lot of good data. And by the way, on a monthly basis, we get data from the golf courses on total rounds played and tourist rounds played, and so a lot of the updates as you see on a monthly basis in Teddy's reports, that is the source of that. Clay wins inside the regional story. So, out of market golfer, Northeast Florida, Clay County, stay in place. So, we all, step in unison as a 5-county cooperative to get that golf tourist. Just a real quick snapshot of 2025 website traffic. You see a pretty good growth in 25, beginning in August. We were the recipient of a grant from Visit Florida that allowed us to get into the marketplace a lot more. So a lot more heavier advertising initiatives were going. So I expect that to go January through September, and we'll have another go at it with Visit Florida and see if we can get some additional revenue sources to increase that even more. So top DMAs, it might vary a little bit. I couldn't really see the advanced slide on top markets, but the golf market will trend a little more fly, well, a lot more fly actually, but that is, we draw typically from colder areas, so you see that. Little bit about social media. Of course, all counties are involved, but the Clay County pages are seeing a nice increase, along with the profile performance and destination ads. So Brett in our office does a great job with social media. Now quickly to the military campaign. You see 2024, I mentioned it's our second year doing that, but much like we do with golf. So really kind of the rule of thumb with this regional organization is wherever 2 or more counties want to go, whether it's golf or anything else, we can be there to help facilitate that, and we've got that regional model built. So much like we excel at golf, we are the 3rd most populous area for active and retired military. So we said, hey, that's a good combo. Let's do golf with it, where the USA comes to play. Awesome performance in 24, which caused us to do it again. And so that was it was just a home run. So the advertising and those impressions behind what you're seeing is we targeted the top 7 other military populous areas of the country. So number 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And so we just dropped a GeoNet on top of those regions and really targeted, just general tourism, golf, active, retired military. So the right people were getting the message. We're not quite, well, this was another part of it. Visit Florida came to play last year, pretty darn good. This was in Atlanta, just an awesome promotion and right on point for us. Over to this year, we did play around with the creative a little bit. The agency, I did run the Army man in the bunker past a lot of veterans to see if that turned someone the wrong way, but it ends up being the top performer in that category, or top performing banner ad in the category. So even without a massive Visit Florida promotion this year, they were going through a bit of a rebrand. So we couldn't get that this year, but we expect to do that next year. But the referrals are up, and just a really well done campaign. And the Patriots passport for Clay County plugged in there nicely, along with Seaside Salute and Amelia Island. We're just a great military community, and really glad that really everything from the players doing the military appreciation on the 17th green to the Jaguars, and just everything that we do in all 5 counties is pretty awesome. So we wanted to leverage that. So that's a brief update, maybe.
Awesome. Thank you, David.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Questions? Just one quick question that I saw in, do you see with the rounds played, it's very indicative of weather too?
Weather definitely
Okay.
has a factor in it. In the past 2 years, our golf courses, also course closures, our golf courses have been putting an enormous amount of capital into their capital improvements into their, whether it's a building of a top tracer or shutting down, redoing greens or what have you. So it's been a bit of a challenge trying to, dial up those numbers of apple and apple. But yeah, I mean, weather's certainly indicative of it. And in December, we had some great numbers, and I was out in the masses, and you had 200 people rounds out there in December. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, David.
Yep, you're welcome.
Number 5 on our agenda under presentations is bed tax collection data. Teddy Meyer.
Yeah, so I provided you guys the most updated. Obviously, this comes at the end of December. So the one that was in the packet was from November. So just to go over it, obviously you see the 2025 year to date is down 10%. The year to date change is about just a negative 1%. It mimics 2023 almost to the dollar. And having multiple conversations with other DMOs and I just think people in general, it's economy, it's just the way things are politically, and I think what we're looking at, there was a conversation probably about a year ago in St. John's with my background about some of the things that Florida had experienced post-COVID, and how there was like a Florida kind of hangover a little bit, right? And so it would appear that it's still kind of lingering around because we were open first, right? So everyone came here first, and then now they're going other places, whether it's domestically or abroad. Just some insights. I know some of the accommodations may have some thoughts as well, but just wanted to bring that to your attention. Obviously, this is just bed tax collection. To really put in perspective, the actual month of this is probably almost 60 days behind. So it's kind of like, you can't look at it and say, oh, well, December was down. Well, it probably wasn't, but we won't have that until probably early February, realistically. So they don't really correspond. It's just the amount of taxes that are collected. Obviously, it's about $25,000 less than last year as well. But I think compared to some other areas, whether it's in Florida or across the country, I'd say that they would probably take it if you offer them negative 1%. But just as an aside, if there's any comments or questions.
One thing I wanted to bring up to the council, in December, the commission, we went to Tallahassee. We got to meet with the state delegation. And when we met with the delegation, one of the things that they told us is that part of state statute that they have to do as state legislators is forecast Florida's budget for the next 3 to 5 years. That's part of their duties as state legislators. And Representative Garrison, who you all know is going to be the Speaker of the House, told us that the financial status of the state of Florida for the next 3 to 5 years is not good. 3 years from now, they're looking at about a $6 billion deficit. And one of the things that after he kind of presented this to us, I asked him, I said, the governor constantly talks about budget surplus and having all this extra money. So why? And Sam's response was that we live in a service industry economy in the state of Florida, right? And to Teddy's point, that's something that's going to be interesting to see over the next couple of years for us, is that consumer behavior as people continue to feel pinched. Prices are not necessarily going down as much as we would want them to, and those types of things. So it is a real thing, I think, and that's, at the state level, as a commission, that's one thing we're trying to continue to fight for, is like obviously of our appropriations and those types of things. But I do see in the next couple of years, people will not be spending as much money. I mean, that's kind of what I took from the state delegation.
I agree with the economy being a part of
the factor I'd also be interested to know is how much supply has the surrounding area added in hotel rooms? There's been a lot of hotels going up in Jacksonville, just across the river.
Yeah.
You know, I think those are gonna impact
Yeah, that's a
how we
good
do
point.
as well.
Something we can definitely look at too. Obviously, we added the Town Place Suites recently in Middleburg, but yeah, that's obviously another issue too, that, what's that almost like, you know, the lost business report type thing and what we're losing to that. That's a good point.
That's good feedback, though. For us as a county commission, that's something from a planning and zoning perspective. You know, we're actually currently talking mobility fees and those types of things. So that's good to know, and that's something that I can bring back to them of, hey, let's try to incentivize this. Because at the end of the day, you know, we all know this, but if every hotel's full, you can't make more than that because there's no more, no more opportunity. So
Yeah, I mean, and obviously the only other piece there would be, you know, your Airbnbs, your VRBOs and stuff, but, you know, that's just, it's a tougher nut to crack altogether. So, you know, and traditionally, you know, it's hard to know exactly how many you have in the county, no matter where you're from.
right.
But anyways, so.
Any other feedback on that? Anybody? All right. Thank you, Teddy. Moving on to our discussion of our event marketing update from Stephanie.
Good evening, everyone. So, as you can see here, these are the grants we have already awarded this year. We had the Fall Fest, the Chili Cook-Off, all of these great events. As Alan talked about before, we had B&A Nightmare Youth Football, the flag football tournament. That was a great event too. The event organizer loved the sports complex, and as he mentioned, definitely wants to come back. And then we have some other sporting events. The pickleball tournament happened. The Flowdown Florida Championship, that's the cornhole event this in the next 2 weeks. And then the Clay County Open and the Scottish Games that you heard from last week. So that gives us a remaining amount of $204,500. Any questions before I move on? Okay, and then the next slide, I also provided this to you so you can see it a little bit better up close because we are getting so many events. These are going to be the 4 grants that you will hear tonight. Not Scottish Games, the Clay County Fair. We have the United Soccer Alliance Showcase. Inspire Dance is coming back. Another great event that loves Clay County. And they are coming for 2 grants this year. You can see what they're asking for. And if those full amounts are awarded, that will leave us with a remaining amount of $114,500. Any questions?
Think we're good?
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. So we're moving on to our first grant request tonight. It's going to be the United Soccer Alliance Showcase, which is a tournament February 27th to March 1st at the Clay County Regional Sports Complex. And then their executive director, Matt Hollyoaks, here to tell us about their tournament.
Hello.
You're good, yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. My name is Matt Hollyoak. I am the executive director at United Soccer Alliance, formerly Clay County Soccer Club. I have Al Cruz behind me, who's the president of our organization. We are a full-service soccer club that offers programming for players, U4, all the way through to semi-professional players. The organization moved to Eagle Harbor in the 90s, founded in 1977. Al has been serving with us for over 20 years, and I'm now going into my 15th year. Over the years, we've seen a lot of growth in both our programming and our membership, largely thanks to help from our community, our county commissioners, as well as Parks and Rec, Justin and his team. When we first started, we had probably around 400 players, and currently we're serving nearly 2,961 members. If we go to the next slide. These are obviously our facilities. We've done a lot of upgrades to Eagle Harbor over the years, and we really see it as one of the primary soccer facilities in North Florida. And thanks to we go to the next slide as well. Thanks to the county commission, Justin and his team, we started our drainage project, which is well underway. I know that many of you guys have probably heard that one of our biggest issues has been closures due to excess rain. And we're hopeful that this is going to keep us open. And we're also very grateful for all of the assistance that's gone into getting us to this point. One of the things I want to touch on before I get into our event is our programming. As a full-service soccer organization, we have access to lots of national platform leagues. I'm not going to go into lots of detail on each one of them, but essentially with our national platforms, we're playing against teams and clubs from outside of our city every single weekend, which involves upwards of 6 to 10 teams coming in to play against us and all of our teams and spending the night and then playing against one of our partner clubs in the Jacksonville area. For us, I think that has a lot of economic impact in that consistently there are teams coming in town to play us in league play. If we go to the next slide, in fact, I'm sorry, go back one more time. I'm getting ahead of myself. One of the things I think that makes Clay County really unique, and I get approached about it quite a bit for Eagle Harbor specifically, is that we link up quite a few markets, specifically the Atlanta to Miami market. And when there are regional events, when it comes down to soccer, we're reached out to quite consistently and asked if they can use our facility. And obviously, when we can, we do it. But it's one of those things that we want to start to continue to push on to Justin and his team and Teddy to try and bring more league play to the Clay County area. So a little bit about our showcase. We're going in year 7. Pretty consistently, we've operated end of February and beginning of March. Our boys showcase this year is February 27th through March 1st. The girls showcase is March 6th through 8th. A little bit about the event. We average around 250 teams, although this year we're looking to hopefully increase that number. We pretty consistently ran out of 3 locations over the 2 weekends. As far as the economic impact, I'm going to give you last year's room nights. It's 160. We utilized 12 hotels. And obviously, going into each of the events, we've learned over the years that we have to notify local restaurants, convenience stores, gas stations, etc. After our first year, we had quite a few people stop by the office and sort of say, hey, you should have let us know. We didn't realize what was coming. And again, last year we had 309 games. We're anticipating that number being a little bit higher this year. When running an event, and I'm sure a lot of people in the room can attest to this, there are quite a few expenses. And as the years have gone on, these expenses have increased significantly, mainly through inflation, but oftentimes also through availability. So the first line item is athletic trainers. We have to have 2 at each location, and they become increasingly hard to find. Referees is a big line item for us. The majority of the referees we hire are youth in our community, but because of the size of our events, we do have to go outside a little bit. It's probably worth noting that the youth in our community, they're making money here and then spending it here as well. Facility rental fees, they can get expensive. Off-duty police officers, as the years have gone on, we found it prudent to have off-duty police officers at each location just to make sure that things don't happen. We hope that they don't, but we plan for the worst. Staffing is always a big deal, especially when you have so many people coming through a facility. Just keeping trash cans empty, keeping the bathrooms clean is a 12-hour commitment throughout the course of the day. And then there's registration fees that we pay to the governing bodies, our CRM, insurance, medals and trophies, marketing materials, signage, tents, banners, field setup and takedown. All of it adds up, and it makes running an event like this pretty expensive, which is why we're here today. Asking if you guys will support us with this grant.
Awesome. Matt, one of the things I can tell you from being in the community is I live in Eagle Harbor, obviously, and when this tournament happens, if you go to Publix, if you go to Chili's, like wherever you're at on Fleming Island in particular, you definitely know. Teddy, does this tournament include the regional sports park?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay. So how many, I guess, for this event, how many sites? Is it Eagle Harbor and the Regional Sports Park?
Over the years, it's changed based on availability. Before the regional park was opened, we were forced to have part of it in the St. Johns County at the Rivertown Fields. We've used Patton Park in the past. This year, we're pretty dedicated to trying to keep it the majority of it at the regional park in Eagle Harbor. We do have facilities at Ringhaver Park in Duval County, but I don't foresee there being a ton of games there this year.
Yeah.
And I'll also touch base with Justin on the potential of using Plantation as well.
Nice. Questions or comments?
Yep. How many outside teams do you see coming in? I mean, I didn't see that in there.
I don't have that exact number for this year because we're still taking registrations. As far as last year goes, off the top of my head, out of the 250 teams, approximately 85 teams of them were from outside of the greater Jacksonville area.
Staying local, they're staying local
Yeah.
when they come in. We've got the 3 days.
Yeah, so we have a housing service that we use that runs reports every year, and it gives us the number of rooms that are being booked and where they're being booked, and the majority of the teams are staying locally. It comes down to what Commissioner Scrimolo was saying earlier as far as availability. If there are multiple events taking place in the county, we're forced to utilize hotels out of the county, but we do tell our housing service that we want everyone to be locally.
Right, and that's another concern because, of course, we see the impact is we definitely want them to be. There is enough rooms here, right? I think the concern as a hotelier is the housing service is sometimes quite tight to work with. They want to, it's a state of play, right? So there's a lot of commission involved. It's challenging. So, I don't know if there's something you could speak to them about that, but we want them to be in Clay. And I think we could handle that, especially with the new hotel. I think we can handle that many in Clay County, but I would be very concerned that they go to another county if this is so you've done it 7 years on your own and now your 8th year, you're needing this, which I think it's great, but I think we got to think through that. Like, we want to make sure that we have that many coming in and they're staying in Clay is my concern.
I agree 100%, and we can put those stipulations on our housing company. We get to approve or disapprove every hotel that we have as part of our event. To your point, if they can't agree with terms, then we have an issue, but we can also work with them on adjusting the terms to ensure that they are part of our state of play event.
Is the housing company do you privately choose them, or is it part of some kind of league that you have to use?
It's privately chosen by us, so we can adjust at
Okay.
any point we see necessary.
And that was the first thing I thought of, was even our tourism staff could facilitate that.
So obviously Sam does that, firsthand as far as the hotels and the contacts and stuff, and really pushing that out, primarily with Airstream, obviously, but would be no different than all the other ones that aren't Airstream driven that we get with. And from the beginning of the process of the date, the reservation, all that stuff, we kind of, again, continually hammer the hotels that are available and the contacts and things like that.
Right.
And my other concern is if money is giving and then, the housing sometimes gives money back to the association from the hotel. So to me, I would want to shore that up because that to me is like a double dip.
Yeah.
Just something to consider when you're talking to them about it. I know that you have to pay them and that's how it works, but it's like the hoteliers don't want to pay for that. We want the business, don't get me wrong. It's huge and we appreciate it and it's a great time. But I just want to make sure that it's beneficial for everybody and, it's not a double dip, if that makes sense.
I agree 100%. And moving forward, I'm happy to work directly in-house with the Clay County team to ensure that there are no hotels that we're utilizing outside of the Clay County area.
Thank you.
And just to add on, and that's already been contracted with using that hotel service, or is that something?
It has been contracted for this event because we do work months in advance. Now, beyond this event, we can go whatever direction we feel is best for this community and also our organization.
So something else to remember as well, like there is the post-event piece to this too. So they do then still have to qualify the outside of 50 miles and then the heads and beds for the total allotment that the TDC would grant regardless.
Right.
So just as an aside.
Correct, yeah. So, just to bring that back up, so if they don't get the money, is what you're saying?
That's correct.
Yeah,
The,
yeah,
the
yeah.
grants division would
safety
still
net,
have to then
which is
go
nice. Yeah,
and approve all that through all the questions and things you've raised.
correct.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? All good points. I mean, to me, this event's very important simply because this is homegrown. This is one of our own people. Affects a lot of people in our community. I also think this market, the youth sports with soccer, he talked about a little bit about the leagues. I have a lot of friends around the state of Florida. Their kids play, and they play in clubs in Tampa and clubs in Miami. And that's something too, Teddy, I'd like for you guys to kind of look at moving forward at the regional sports park. When they have league play, why can't we host it there?
Yeah, and so me and Matt have had conversations previously, and we'll continue to do that to look at times, and then with Parks and Rec on when we can host games with those out of town teams specifically, like essentially targeting like if Miami Rush or if a team from Palm Beach or TBU from Tampa is coming up. So specifically targeting those groups when we know it's not Gainesville, when we know it's not Space Coast in Melbourne, just for the reference. So we're kind of in conversations with that too. The other piece to mention too, and obviously you look at the holistic view of Clay County. Still call them Clay County, not USA, but I know we're tourism and there's a heads and beds piece. There's a large intangible piece also for two other things that Matt touched on. And one of them is the Clay County residents that don't have to go to Miami or Tampa, that then can stay here and are probably still going to being day visitors at Mello and all the other places, right? The other piece that's probably not, and it's not really as realized, is the referee piece. And that is the largest expense of a tournament, somewhere between $28,000-$30,000. And that money, almost 80% is staying in county.
Right.
It's important. Again, I'm not saying it bases a grant, but it's good to look at the whole picture of what exactly this group brings to Clay County.
Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to do the full amount of the request of 15,000.
Got a motion? Have a second?
I'll second if no one else. My love of soccer.
My love of people coming to Clay County. Yeah, so we have a motion and a second to award the 15,000 for the United Soccer Alliance USA Showcase in February and early March. Any further comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We hope you have a great event.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks. Our next event is the Inspire Regional Dance Contest. Stephanie's going to present this one, I believe.
So Inspire is coming to us with two different grant applications. Last year, they did one application for one grant for two events. It ended up being a little bit messy, so they decided this year to actually apply for two different grants. So the first event is happening in March at Thrasher Horn Center. It is, as you know, Thrasher will use the full 10,000 for the venue expense. They're projecting 50 nights for a 3-day event. Last year they did report 64 nights for this same event. It's not a need period, but it is a multi-day event. They're requesting 15,000 for the March event, and then staff recommendation is 13,500. Any questions?
Stephanie, I can't, remind me how much we gave them last year for both of these.
So last year for the two events, they received $22,500. So it ended up being $11,250 per event. So this year they are asking a little more. I know the venue expense went up a little bit, and they are expecting more dancers this year as well.
And then last year, because we didn't have the reimbursable model, correct? So they just got the full amount based on receipts?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And they turned it, did they turn in the full amount?
Yes.
Okay.
Now their next one is the exact same application. The date is just different. They're both regional events, and they're expecting the same amount of dancers, just different months.
And it's 2 or 3 days?
It's a 3-day event.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. 2 nights, 3 days.
Well, let me confirm that. They're saying it's a 4-day event. Oh, nope. That's,
2 nights.
this is March.
Should be 2 nights, 3 days. Yeah.
Yes, but they do expect some people to come in a night earlier, but they're still only saying that they're expecting the 50 room nights. But last year they did have 64.
Okay.
We're gonna approve these separately.
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I definitely am leaning more towards the staff recommendation, just because of the amount they were given last year and then, the amount of nights. Open to hearing anyone else's thoughts.
I agree with you. I think so.
Yeah. I'll take a motion.
Yeah, I'll motion for the, application, for the, staff recommendation. 13,500, 15,000.
Oh, the staff was
The-
13.5.
13,500, I'm sorry, 13,500.
We have a motion for the staff recommendation. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
2 seconds? All right. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. And then, we can just go ahead and, I'll entertain a motion for the second one. It's just literally the same thing, correct? Just different dates?
Yes, just different dates. First one was in March, the second one's in April.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 13.5.
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, it's unanimous. I think the event's great. I think that they definitely bring people, appreciate the partnership with the Thrasher Horn, and I hope they have a great event. So our final grant request today is the whole enchilada, the Clay County Fair. Stephanie.
Okay, so unfortunately Tasha Hayter couldn't be here tonight, but she has entrusted me to present, so. You do have the backup information. I also included the placer information from last year's event. As you can see, it's always a very well-attended event. Where's my main number? So they're showing 180,000, almost 181,000 visitors over the course of the fair. They're projecting 100 room nights, over 75,000 out-of-town attendees. Last year they were granted a sponsorship, and this year we're not doing sponsorship, so they're qualifying for the signature event grant. And the full amount of the grant is $45,000. Based on their application and their scoring, they do qualify, or they do score the full 100%. So staff recommends the full $45,000.
I just have a question from the reimbursement piece, the receipts. So last year with the sponsorship, they were given the cash and then they could use it for marketing, et cetera. What is that gonna look like operationally for them?
Well, they won't have a problem reaching the 45,000.
Oh, for sure,
To
for
answer your
sure.
question. But they have to provide some more documentation they didn't provide previously.
Okay.
Some of the marketing has to be a bit more detailed. And then the room nights need to be a little bit more, essentially, pen to paper, if you would.
Okay.
So, which, again, they were given a check last year. I don't think we're asking too much, and we know the impact. Everyone lives it, right? So, but it's just better on the checks and balances side for everyone.
100%, yeah.
This is a reimbursement of marketing?
Yes, sir. And in the past, they were required to match it, and they had no problem matching it at the 90,000.
I'll motion to approve the 45,000.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Clay County's largest tourism event of the year is approved. Very good. Thank you, Stephanie. Let's talk about old business, our upcoming events.
Okay, so we are now heading into 2026. We're in 2026. So the first few months it is cold, so a little less than what we're used to in our big summer, and then going into Christmas and Clay, which was huge for Clay County. So we do have some pretty cool events coming up. Again, you can scan for the full events calendar, and then you can also submit an event there if you know of any. One that is going to happen after our next TDC meeting is the Strawberry Fest. That's quickly becoming another big event in Clay County, so I just wanted you all to have it on your calendars, have it on your radar. But that will be the 7th and 8th of March. And that's going to be right after the Scottish Games, so that's going to be a busy time for the fairgrounds out there. But yeah, if you guys know of any events or know of anybody hosting an event, please send them the link, and we will get their event on our calendar.
Awesome, very good. And one quick thing, Teddy, that we had talked on the phone about the Green Cove Christmas Parade. I think you said that Placer was trying to.
We have that. I can provide it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had asked
First
Teddy to
meeting.
give us the Placer data on the Christmas Parade because that's always a really. I was just curious as what
The
the
initial
number.
population release, I believe, was 7,400 people.
Okay.
But I'll get the data and I can send it to the group so they can see the whole scope like Placer would normally send. But
Okay.
yeah, that was and the question came from having a conversation with Placer, and then the geofence only does part of Green Cove or this part, and so obviously Placer can do a lot of different things, good or bad. And so we just had a conversation with them about parades in other places in the country, and they kind of extended the geofence. So we'll have that documentation, provide that after the meeting to the board.
Cool. Thank you. One last comment I want to make before I open it up to the council is big congratulations to our tourism staff. Tomorrow in downtown Jacksonville, they have won a regional award with the regional council for remind me the name of the program, the Strolls, what is it? Wheel the World, yeah. So Wheel the World, the program they did, Wheel the World, was nominated for an award, and Clay County won. So tomorrow in Jacksonville at the Northeast Florida Regional Council Award Show, they'll be presented that. So you guys do a great job. We're very appreciative of everything you do, and it's a well-deserved award, and I will be there tomorrow to see you guys to get it. So it's good stuff. Anything else from our council members? All
We had
right.
a great event in Keystone Heights. We had our finale for Centennial, so we did fireworks, fantastic fireworks. We had the best fireworks. We had a fantastic Christmas parade too. It was like one of our biggest. And nice Christmas market. I mean, we really, so many people that came in were really thinking, this is quite amazing how, such a small town can put on such a great show. And nothing but great things about both of them.
Very good. Yeah. Excuse me. Anything else? All right. Real quick, just point of privilege, public comment again. If there's anyone from the public that came in late that would like to address the council, I'll give you the opportunity to do that. You can walk on up.